and welcome to my channel, Ginger Ninja JK's Movie Reviews. We're doing the ABCs of horror, as you know, and this week we're up to the letter J. So stick around because I've got a little bit of a treat for you on this one. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, and welcome back. So, like I said, letter J, we're looking at Jeepers Creepers. Now this one came out in 2001. It's directed by Victor Salva. It stars Gina Phillips, Justin Long, and Jonathan Breck. Before we begin, I'm going to give you a quick look at my Blu-ray copy. Now this isn't a great Blu-ray copy. It's just simply the first Jeepers Creepers and the sequel, Jeepers Creepers 2. There are no special features on it at all. And it doesn't even have an opening menu. It just goes straight into the movie with this one. So not a lot to it. Before we get into it, if you can give this video a like, share, subscribe to my channel, would be much appreciated. For those that already do, thank you very much. If you haven't seen this movie, please be aware there will be spoilers and plot-specific points that I do discuss during this review. Okay, so overall plot: a brother and sister, which played by Gina Phillips and Justin Long, are driving home through the isolated countryside for spring break. This is when they encounter a creature in the middle of its ritualistic feeding frenzy. So this film, it's 21 years old. It's still a really good film. Like it really is. What I did like about it, to start with, the cast. Really great performances from the three main actors, which are Gina Phillips, Justin Long, and Jonathan Breck. Gina Phillips playing Trish, Justin Long playing Derry, and Jonathan Breck playing the creature known as the Creeper. Fantastic all around. There's one particular scene where Justin Long, he sees something, and the look of terror in his eyes, like you feel that, like it shakes him to his core. It was so good. Really well done performances all around. The writing as well, the dialogue between Trish and Derry, it's well written and paced, and it connects you to the characters. Like you are invested in these characters. Both the actors had that brother and sister connection, so that sold it to you. So that was really well done. The tension in the movie is so good. Like, it starts out lighthearted and fun, but the minute the creeper comes in this big old truck, like, it just intensifies, tenfold, and continues on all through the movie. Really well done in that respect. So, like, the way they've done it, there are certain parts where they've done it. The characters themselves, they bring that tension to the forefront. So that's what you see. But also the sound, like the music, the score, it just carries through it so well and is so well done. And finally, the creeper. The actual creature of the film is a brilliantly well-designed creature. And I think it's up there with, things like Predator, Aliens, Pumpkinhead, probably more so along the lines of Pumpkinhead. It's brilliantly designed, and the story behind it, the slow reveal of it, the reason why it's doing these things is really good. And that also increases attention because there's a time limit. This creature has, every 23 years, it hunts for 23 days. Okay? So it's got a time limit. It's hunting people down for a specific reason. So yeah, that's really, really good and does help to build the tension. But the storyline behind the creature, they've got a whole, tale of where it came from. They never reveal it, which I think is great because it does create that mystery, but just the physical design of it as well, and the physical performance done by Jonathan Breck. Once again, kudos to him because he's done a fantastic job. Now, what I didn't like about the film, to be honest, it really is hard to pinpoint what I didn't like about this film. It's so well done. Like, it's brilliantly directed, brilliantly acted. It's well written. It's got enough, creature feature sort of moments to keep you invested and keep you intrigued in it. Probably the main things I didn't like were there are some plot holes, some pretty major plot holes. The creature itself, like how does it know how to drive, and how did it, how does it soup up this really old truck? How does it keep it on the road? How has it not been pulled over by the police? Few things like that, but they're little things in the overall scheme of the movie. It's an enjoyable film, really fun to watch, and like I said, 21 years later, it still holds up as a really good movie. So if you haven't seen it, highly recommend you get on that, although I'm hoping most people by now have seen this film and agree with my review. So if not, let me know what you thought of this film down in the comments below. And if you have any other films you would like to see me review, once again, we're only up to J, so we're still going. As a score for this one, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I really do enjoy this one, so thank you very much for watching. Now, I did say I had a special treat for you, so stick around, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, and we're back with Jeepers Creepers 2. I figured it's a letter J, I might as well do Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, given that they're both on here. Alright, so this one came out a couple of years after the original, so it came out in 2003. It is once again directed by Victor Salva. Jonathan Breck, once again, plays the Creeper. Ray Wise and Justin Long are also in this film, and many, many more, so too many to go through. But the plot is set just days after the original film, and a championship basketball team are returning back to their high school, and they're attacked by the Creeper, who's on the final day of his 23-day feeding frenzy. So as I mentioned previously, we knew there was a time limit. This is the last day of it. But this, being a sequel, it does abide by the sequel rules from Scream 2. So the body count is bigger and the death scenes are more elaborate. Now what I mean by that is there's a whole bus full of teenagers in this one. Now the original movie did have a massive, I guess you didn't really see it, but there were probably a lot more deaths in there, but you didn't see them. But this one you see a lot more deaths on screen. You also see a lot of cars, well you see 2 cars where it is suggested that the Creeper killed them. Heavily suggested. And when I say the death scenes are more elaborate, this is one of the things I enjoyed about it, is where they flesh out and expand the storyline of the Creeper. The weapons he uses. We did see him use an axe in the first movie, but this one he has these dirty, nasty, homemade looking throwing stars, which are made out of bone, bits of flesh, a tooth, and part of the flesh ties it back to the original. Darry, his rose tattoo on a ninja star. Yeah, really good. And the other thing I did like about it is how the Creeper actually replaces broken body parts or damaged parts of himself. It is said that he ingests them, which he does do, but there's a really cool scene on the bus where, well, when I say cool, it's probably not so much cool, but a decapitated body, but there's no blood or anything, which I found funny. But the Creeper's head's been damaged severely. He has to replace it. But seeing that scene and how he brings it up in it, yeah, it's hard to describe, but it's a really cool scene, and I really like what they did with him. They didn't spoil his entire origin or anything like that, but they did expand on it just enough to create a great character. And as you can see here, the wings, the bat-like wings, the hands, he uses them more not just for flying. There's part of the decapitation scene, they're used. So the 2 things I didn't like about this film, the way the Creeper would break the 4th wall and stare at the camera knowingly. Look, I just felt that was out of place. It wasn't necessary. And the other thing I didn't like is the suddenly psychic aspect of this film, where one of the teenage girls is suddenly psychic and is dreaming about the Creeper, the Darry from the original film, the son of Ray Wise's character who was killed at the start of the film. Look, I get the first movie did have a psychic in it and did have that psychic connection, but that was an established person in that community. The police knew of her. All of a sudden, this person is just psychic and can dream these things. I kind of felt that was really out of place. Wasn't necessary. They could have got around it with some, a little bit better writing, I think. But look, overall, it is an enjoyable sequel. It does go for a bit longer than the original. It isn't as an intense film, but it is a good film. Overall, I'm giving Jeepers Creepers 2 7 out of 10. So there you have it. Thank you very much for sticking with me while I reviewed Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. Give them a watch. Let me know what you thought of them down in the comments. And once again, I would appreciate it if you give this a like, share, subscribe. Would mean the world to me. So thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.